Welcome to the Lifestyle Herbalist, where we serve up a healthy dose of happiness. I'm Dabney Vaccaro, and together with my co-host Sabrina Cooper, we're here to blend our expertise as dental hygienists and herbalists to help you live your healthiest, happiest life. From holistic wellness tips to natural remedies and everything in between, we're here to inspire you to thrive, mind, body, and spirit. Let's get started. Hey, welcome back. Recently I was giving some presentations for a group of ladies, and one of the questions that came up was, is this suitable to use on my dog? And I couldn't answer it. I was like, I'm going to have to get back to you because honestly, I have not really spent a lot of time looking at herbs for dogs, or cats for that matter. But wow, I was really amazed what I started to uncover when I started doing some research and looking into herbs and pets, mainly because I have chickens. I don't have any dogs or cats anymore. So my wellness practice has been primarily around humans. But I was amazed to uncover the amount of herbs that are really helpful for pets. I know in my own experience, when I was really frustrated one time about a puppy dog that had just chronic ear stuff going on, and I had him to the vet several times. Each time she would give me a steroid to put him on, and though the steroid would run its course, do its thing, and then 2 weeks later he would present with the same problem. I'm thinking, what's going on? Like, I don't want to keep taking this dog to the vet and having to deal with this and, put him through this misery. Like, what is the root of this issue? So finally, at my own wit's end, I put him in the bathtub. I got some apple cider vinegar. I diluted it, and I just washed his ears out really well with some apple cider vinegar. And you know what? That stuff cleared up like no other. Ironically, I took him back to the vet for his checkup to get his immunizations and that sort of thing, and told her about the experience, and she said nothing. She was absolutely silent. I don't think I won her over that day. That being said, I was amazed how easy it was to get rid of it in just cleaning his ears. I think I did it maybe 3 times total, and he never had another ear issue happening. So I think I got to the root of it. Apple cider vinegar is by far a wonderful medicine inside and out. But back to herbal things for pets. And the question that my participant had asked was really about nettle, stinging nettle, because nettle is such a great food and it's such a great anti-inflammatory, especially for arthritis. And she was primarily asking about her geriatric puppy or her dog that was, having the problems with arthritis. And so when I went back the next week, I said, absolutely. And this is how you do it. So anyway, nettle. The uses for pets is that it's an allergy relief. Like, I can't tell you how many pets that I've had in my life and people that I know whose dogs had allergies. But nettle can reduce the histamine reactions for allergies. It's a joint support medicine, anti-inflammatory for arthritis. It's rich in minerals like iron and magnesium and calcium. So all you do is you steep it and make a tea, much like you would for yourself. So you steep a teaspoon of dried nettle in hot water, you cool it, you can add it to the food. You can also just use dry nettle leaf. So if your dog likes wet food, or if you make your own dog's food for them, you can just add some of the dried nettle leaf in their food and give it to them that way. Dogs should get probably 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon per 10 pounds daily. And then cats, about 1/4 teaspoon per 5 pounds mix into their wet food. You can also use freeze-dried capsules, and they're primarily used for allergies. A research study in 2017 found that nettle reduced allergic dermatitis in dogs compared to antihistamines. And this is so much better and nutritive for their body than something like an antihistamine. The other one I was surprised to learn about was chamomile. And I know chamomile is so beneficial for humans, and it's a very relaxing medicine, if you will. For pets, it is calming. You know, I used to have dogs that were just so terrified of thunderstorms, or if I got in a car to go someplace, they were just so stressed out. And chamomile can help reduce the anxiety if you hear those rumblings of the thunderstorm, or if you know a thunderstorm is on its way. You know, you can make a little tea, you can give it to your dog or your cat, and just let them be calm. It'll help them be calmer during the thunderstorm, or if they're traveling and the stress is a little overwhelming for them. Chamomile also helps to soothe upset stomachs. If they have gas or mild diarrhea, chamomile can help with that, remedy that as well. Also, if you think about like dogs who have like rashes or have these little hot spots that they're just constantly scratching at, it can be a great topical for skin irritation. So again, to make and use chamomile, you want to use it as a tea. Again, you can use the dried herb if you want to in their food. But dogs, again, a quarter to a half a teaspoon per 10 pounds. You use it twice a day. And then cats, about a quarter teaspoon for 5 pounds. You want to test for allergies first, especially for cats. Some people even have some mild allergies to chamomile, so you want to be careful and just go light on it at first. The neat thing too is that you can actually make a spray, a topical spray. So you can chill the tea and just spritz it on that itchy skin. That can help relieve those hot spots and those rashes. So yeah, it can aid in digestion and it helps to reduce anxiety. And that's what the research has kind of shown. A couple weeks ago, Sabrina and I talked about herbs that were great for springtime. And one of the ones we talked about was milk thistle and how great it is on our liver and clearing our liver. And milk thistle is actually very mild and can be used for pets as well. It can be a great liver detox, post-toxin exposure, medication support, and it can be helpful in chronic liver disease like hepatitis and even fatty liver for some cats. So a standardized extract is 80% silymarin. And this extract you probably have to get either at your vet's if they are a holistic vet or online. The dogs are to get 50 to 150 milligrams per 10 pounds daily, and cats get 25 to 50 milligrams daily mixing with their food. Believe it or not, vets can actually use an IV silibin for acute poisoning. So that it is something to be used and can really help with liver detoxification. I have to say, the best dog I ever had as an adult, she was an Australian Shepherd mix, and I think more than once she probably got into my kids' backpacks and chewed up their gum, which has a lot of artificial sugars and things, and that can be very toxic to dogs. And she ended up having some type of liver dysfunction, and eventually I had to put her to sleep because she was in liver failure, sadly. I wish I was an herbalist then and could know more about this, because I think it would have helped her have a better quality of life. Most people know about catnip, and we think about catnip as the almost a euphoric kind of crazy that the cats often have with catnip. But believe it or not all cats have the same things that go on with catnip. They don't all feel that sense of euphoria. It's actually a genetic kind of predisposition that cats have. But catnip is very useful for both dogs and cats. So It can stimulate and play or exercise. It gives them that effect. And in some cats, it actually calms them down. So it gives them the opposite response. And believe it or not, catnip is a natural mosquito repellent. So you can take some of the catnip, rub it on their fur, and it can help keep away mosquitoes. Because mosquitoes are one of those things that can lead to heartworms, and we all know that that can be quite troubling and expensive if our dog happens to get heartworms. So catnip is a great mosquito repellent. To use it, you can use fresh or dried leaves, and you sprinkle 1.5 to 1 teaspoon on their toys. And for a tea for anxiety, you can steep cool and then spray on their bedding, and that can help them with anxiety. So primarily this is used for cats, but it can be used for dogs as well. Turmeric, many people take turmeric, and we know that turmeric has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties, but it also can be very beneficial for pets in arthritis relief and actually cancer support as an adjunctive therapy. It can also boost the immune system. So how do you use it? The recommendation is to make something called a golden paste. So to make the golden paste, you're going to use 1/2 cup of the turmeric with a 1 cup of water and 1/3 cup of coconut oil and about a teaspoon of black pepper. You're going to simmer this for about 10 minutes and you're going to refrigerate it. After that, you have your nice paste and you're going to dose it to 1/4 teaspoon per 10 pounds daily. And it's going to help with that arthritis relief, cancer support, or immune booster, whatever it is that your dog is needing at that time. And for those who wonder why black pepper helps turmeric uptake into the body like at 2,000%. Like it's amazing what a little bit of black pepper can do to turmeric and the uptake. So you get the maximum benefit of the turmeric. Another herb I think about is echinacea. Purpurea. So uses for pets is that it does boost the immune system as well. This is mainly used for short-term infections, not something that you want to give long-term like turmeric. You can give that more long-term because it's an immune enhancing and boosting. This is not, with an echinacea, it's more of a stimulant. So it's more of something that's acute infection that's going on, and you want to use echinacea only in short term. It does boost the immune system, but mainly for infections. So echinacea also can help fight upper respiratory infections, and the best way to use echinacea is through a tincture, which is an alcohol. But for dogs, and you can find tinctures online, or you can go to your local herb store and find a tincture. But for dogs, if you're going to use like the aerial parts, which is the leaf and flower, you're going to use about 5 to 10 drops per 20 pounds twice a day, only for about a week or so. After that, you're not going to use it. So anyway, you can find the tincture, like I said, online at a reputable place. Always try to get organic whenever you can. The research shows that it actually increases the white blood cell activity, which is why it's so great at fighting those infections. The Canadian Veterinarian Journal found that using echinacea reduces kennel cough duration. So I remember getting a puppy and taking it to the vet because it had that kennel cough. So man, if I'd only known then what I know now, but going forward, it's all we can do, right? So we all know about ginger. So ginger is a wonderful herb for culinary purposes, but it can help with nausea and motion sickness. Again, dogs that are traveling have high anxiety. Sometimes they can get motion sickness as well. Ginger is also an anti-inflammatory for arthritis. Wow, there are so many herbs that are great for our pets who are dealing with arthritis. The fresh root can be grated and added to their food, or you can use capsules. I never had a dog that would take pills very well, but you can actually open the capsules and just sprinkle it over their food if you like. But capsules, they're going to get about 50 to 100 milligrams per 10 pounds before traveling. Or if you're using it for more anti-inflammatory for arthritis, you can use the fresh grated root, about a quarter teaspoon for 10 pounds of your pet's weight. So other herbs I think about are like marshmallow root. This soothes the GI and for inflammation. It just really coats that gut micro and helps some gut microbiome. You can dose a teaspoon of the powdered root per 20 pounds of your dog in their food. Dandelion, which we've talked a lot about on this podcast, but it's great for liver and kidney support. It's a diuretic and detoxifier. The dosage there is a quarter teaspoon of dried leaf per 10 pounds, and they can use that daily to help with their liver and kidneys. Licorice root, it's adrenal support. Boy, if you got a really taxed out and stressed out dog, it's an adaptogen for stress. It can be hypertensive, so if your dog does have hypertension, you want to avoid or a very limited amount of licorice root. So these are the things I think about for dogs and cats. One thing I wanted just to mention, there are many myths about herbs and pets. Some are harmless, but others are dangerous. So I wanted to just take a moment to try and debunk some of these ideas for the pet owners to make wiser choices, safer choices, and just science-backed choices. So one myth that's gone around for years is garlic is a natural flea repellent for dogs. So a little garlic in your dog's food keeps the fleas away. The truth is, garlic and onions can damage red blood cells, and it can lead to problems like anemia in dogs and cats. So there are safer alternatives like neem oil, rosemary, and cedarwood oil. Those are all vet-approved flea sprays. So be aware of the garlic and onions. Myth number 2, essential oils are always safe for pets. If it's safe for us, it's safe for the pets. Well, tea tree oil can cause neurological issues, liver damage, and even in small amounts. Peppermint, citrus, and eucalyptus can cause respiratory distress and even vomiting. Cats lack liver enzymes to metabolize phenols and oils, so cats should never have anything like an essential oil. Never ever apply undiluted oils to pets. And even diffusing, it should be in a well-ventilated areas to avoid any kind of respiratory issue. Another myth number 3, CBD oil is a miracle cure for everything. The truth is CBD has proven benefits. It can help with epilepsy in dogs, but it's not a cure-all. Dosing is critical because too much can cause lethargy or even diarrhea. And the THC is actually toxic to pets. So just be aware. Myth number 4, herbal sedatives can replace prescription anxiety meds. Well, chamomile is very soothing for anxiety, but not necessarily severe anxiety. It's good for situational stresses like thunderstorms or travel, but for something more, a prescription might be warranted. Myth number 5 is pets can eat any natural plant. Some pet owners think that because the cat chews on the house plants, it's fine because they're natural. But actually, common toxic plants like lilies can cause kidney failure. Aloe vera has saponins in it that can cause vomiting and diarrhea. And there are certain palm trees that can cause liver failure in dogs. So just because it's natural plant doesn't mean it's safe for pets. The information provided on this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not substitute for professional veterinary advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always, please consult your veterinarian before introducing any herbal supplements or remedies into your pet's routine, especially if your pet is pregnant, nursing, or has a pre-existing health condition. If your pet is taking medications, herbs may interact with the drugs. Your pet shows allergic reactions like itching, vomiting, and lethargy. Natural does not always mean safe. Dosage, quality, and individual tolerances matter. The host of this podcast is not liable for any adverse effects resulting from the use of herbal remedies discussed. When in doubt, ask your vet. If you have tried some herbal remedies in the past and have found success, please drop me a note. I would love to know your take on it and what it is that you used and what successes you've had. Until next time.